Good evening. This is the day they call day one of the month of fall. This is the third 7 today in September. We are on the day of transition. The 8 days a week is today. It falls on the 21st, which makes it very special. In a month of 3 worlds, we're not talking about the spirit in this month. We're talking about just the 3 worlds. There are 7 other months to talk about the spirit, okay? 31 days. In 30 days, we talk about the 3 worlds. This is the month of the scepter, okay? The scepter is given to he, okay, upon reaching the 7, to sit up upon the throne. And the reason you sit up upon the throne is because if you ever look at the 7 card, there's only one bubble, okay, above the center. The 8 is one below and above. You can sit in both. And now he's sitting on top. Mount Olympus. Zeus. You don't like the name I gave it? It's in a name game. There's clues everywhere. Whatever I say, there's always clues in it. If I had to repeat and explain every single thing that I did, I'm already nuts. Anyways, I'm getting off first. So, just thinking. Man is held up by the oceans of his mother. The oceans of his mother. Who writes poetry like that? I do. Thus, we float in the ocean, okay. Our mother in French, okay, would be ma mère, my mother, ma, backwards, or just as initials, or A&M, angel, one creation of 3, angel creation. So that means you automatically have the heaven. 3, 1, and 4 is 8. Anyways, we're floating in the ocean. Now, what kind of ocean can we be actually floating in? You know, I'm thinking. I can say, yeah, we're floating. But think of it. What would it be? Okay, we see a lot of movies, and some of these movies use these like circular iPods, and there's like a unit here, and then there's a small passage, and there's a unit here, and a small passage, and a unit here, and a small passage. That's why they say there's too many people. You see all the empty space there is? They can double what they have and still have place. Please. After I drove truck down to California and up to Yakima, Washington, and out in the Dakotas, and through the mountains of Wyoming and Texas, and wow. And now they put the speed limit up to 85. That's the number to leave. You know what that means, 85 in my number game? It means we're leaving. So 2 places now, which is it South Dakota? Which one is it? It's a western place. It's up north. Montana. Montana. Of course, Montana. They now have that lady there, Montana, and everybody talks about her. So, of course, Montana went to 85. You know, what's in the Montana? Where is the George Bush? Well, Texas. They now put Texas up to 85. I think they passed through Wyoming. So relate those 3 there, and you'll see what's going on in the future. Only because of what man did. I just read into it. 2 states, 85 miles an hour. Times it by 4. Okay, so you'd have 85 times 4 is 320, 340. Means nothing to me. Not in all actuality, it does. It means there's one angle covered. What is that angle? Dividing something in half? There's an angle that has been cut by rising straight up. There's a cut now. Anyways, I don't know what else is going on. So, what happens? This is what I say. Now we know, okay, it's cold and it's hot out in the universe. It's either very cold or it's very hot. But if it's anything in between, it's only because it's going one way or the other way. You know, if you have a temperature that's in between, it's because it went from this side to that side, and now it passed everywhere in between. So, of course, on whatever reader you have, it's going to say every temperature. If you know there's a high and a low, you know the passage was there. The high just doesn't go from 60 to 0. Does your car stop? You're pushing the brakes. Does it go from 60 to 0? It's a little too late to hit the little girl. Don't you understand? What happens up there in the universe, what happens the way I see it, is what happens when you drive your car, when you drink alcohol, or do any kind of drug, or illicit of anything, not knowing beforehand how you're going to act. For instance, look at me. Why I say that is because I know where I am. Don't forget, this is only a book. It's only something I'm thinking because I have an idea and I have nobody to talk to. And there you are. Voila. One of many first friends. You don't have to know all your friends. You just have to understand why they're still there. Okay, anyways, yes. So what happens with these iPods, okay, in the universe? The winds have to go. It has to blow. Things move, hot and cold. Don't you know the weather? Listen to the weather station. I bet you if I listened to the weather station, I would find a ton of things I can connect. And obviously, they connect from barometric, and then they continue on. Those are easy. But what happens when they just have the BAR part of it? I can back it up to the BA and to the B and even before the B. I can see the B coming. I can see the B coming. Do you know why I can see the B coming? Okay, it's because the first thing God really does in order to have any dark numbers, 2, 4, 6, and 8, and the B is the 2, is because of creation. You see, in a square, the B is 2, okay, and she's second, and C would be third. That's the reason for the numbers on the telephone. I think I'm going to do a cassette about that. But if you take the pound key, which has the 9 spaces, it goes from the 7 key on your telephone or whatever, okay, all the way over to 3 for creation. And what are you creating? You're creating beta, a different kind of division of life. Nintendo, any one of those cassettes. I mean, in a way, we're sort of, if you want to look at it, we're projected. Okay, we're actually doing all that we're doing, but we're in a world that doesn't look exactly the way it does. When we feel it, it's only because, first of all, we're on a 45-degree angle. Everything we do is off. No matter what your tape measure says, well, your tape measure, they fix that up with matrix, but no matter what goes on, it's all wrong. So then they try to correct it. One of the corrections they made, since they split it in half and then they split it again, they created a pyramid. A pyramid is a pie, so they created the reason for the mathematicals of pi. And that's why when they fooled around sending some crop circles up online, they showed one of the signatures. Very big signature. The P is very important. Right away it says the one spirit of man. The I is the 9 months, and the 5 is the E world they live in. That is the pi. It's so simple. 25 and 5. 25 for the 1/4 of who man is, 1 out of 4 in the deck with the heart. And the heart is the actual design of our angel. The I is the 9 months of birth. The E is the E world, and in French, esprit for spirit. 5. What is it, 3.114? If it is, it's 3 worlds of 1, 1 angel, 1 spirit. Okay? Of 4 corners of the 4 angel, of the 4 angle, whichever way you want to look at it. 4 by 4 is 16. 4 by 16 is 64. The backgammon dice, that's who we are. We're always doubling up. And we're charging for it too. There's a VIG on everything. You want to gamble and it's 10%? There's got to be a reason for the 10%. Well, you always want to keep 10 yards, reminding yourself in football. American football, you always want to keep that 10 yards, okay? So instead of being at the 50-yard line, you'd be nose to nose. Let's make it fair. You back up both lines 5 yards from the 50. Now there's 5 yards between. Now it's fair. They don't work it that way. I think they work, what, 2.5 yards, whatever it is. But the real way to do it is to back them up to the 45-yard line, both of them. Then go out for the pass. That's the real game. But there's a VIG. They put them closer, change the outlook of the game, but the calculation is an in-between calculation. That's why they are where they are. What is that in-between calculation? The reason they're not at the 45? you understand what I'm saying? 10 yards between them where they start. So let's start it at the 50-yard line, because the 50-yard line is the passage to both teams, both sides of the world, up in heaven, down here on earth. Number 5. The fans are number 12. Isn't that right in football? Number 12. They always want to bring back everything to the dozen, because when you got a dozen, you got alpha, you got beta, and you got the beta from the 3 creation. Those 3 numbers make 6. Therefore, you know you have man. If you have man after 3, the next row is 4, 5, 6 on the telephone. If you have angel, you have connection to the angel 5. The 4 and the 1 connect, pass through the 5 over to 6 man. If you have 6 man, and you have to stop right there. There's a whole explanation. I hope I can get it out to you. Part of it starts like this. You see where there's the one dice is actually inside of one area more than another, creating a bird-like view and a tie-like. Okay, the reason is because we're more in one world actually than we are in the other world. Like I said at the beginning of this tape, we're these pods, we're this big dome and pods, and every time it's vicious on the outside of the universe, okay, it passes over us, and we go up, and it separates, and it goes down, and there's water and all kinds of stuff that passes. And at the same time, okay, we're sort of like in some sort of basin, okay, where tugboats would be. We're in some sort of basin, like a canal, like the Suez Canal, and our balance is like on air suspension, like on the trucks. And what happens is they let air in and out, and in order to not to burn anything out, they let the water pass with it to cool it down. That gives us another thing with our barometric pressure. And when the big storms come, or when they split the sea with Moses, all they did is they lowered this or they raised this, and they let the water drain out. And then when they pushed it back down, the water went back into where it was supposed to be. There's just so many ways to look at it. I don't even know where to go. Ask me, do you want to know about the entire roulette wheel? Okay, I mean, I don't have it in order, but I can tell you, I don't know. Give me a number. Number 15. Why is 15 black? Well, let's try and figure it out together. Number 1 in roulette is red. Number 5 in roulette is red. But when they're together as number 15, it's black. Well, what it means is the 1 spirit, okay, and the 5 are active in red. In black. How are they active? They're being used. Twins black. There's a story, it's being used. When it's red, it's an open power, it's an open energy. And I'll explain it by on the 19. Did you know 19 is the only number on the roulette wheel which is a 1 in the first position, and it's red, and the 9, okay, on the 3rd level to the right, like the telephone, is red, and the 19 is red, red on red. It's a live spirit, it's connected, it's with birth. With every birth, it's telling you a story. The 1 spirit, the 9 birth, is a story of 10, okay? Look to see what the other combinations of 10 are in roulette. You have 28, it's black. They're both black letters. You have no 37. We said 28. We did 19. The only other one is 10. And that's black. It's not red. Because 10 is a combination of 1 angel, 4, and 1 man, 6. 6 and 4 is 10. Okay? And it's in the first position. And if it was on your telephone, okay, it would be on the bottom left in the star key, because it's showing you how it's connected in the heavens. That's why it's the star key. Okay? Each one, I mean, there's 9 positions, you know, and it depends which one you start with. You always have to use the 9 numbers. It's a cycle. It just keeps going around and around, and evolution brings it forward. And then it looks like the dragon, because all the strands have all the colors, and it drags on and on and on. And the Chinese know, because they know the angels the best. They are the closest to the angels.